And a selamat tengah hari to everyone here in Mandalika. Okay, we have to apologize for the pretty lengthy delay because, to be fair, I do want some sleep and I do feel like prioritizing, me getting a good sleep is very much important because I don't want the stream to suddenly be so quiet because I literally fell asleep on the stream. But anyway, we are not going to dilly-dally ourselves for way too long. Welcome everyone to round 2 of the HoloType World CEO series. Which also doubles as round 9 of HoloLive International, the continuation from yesterday, and also the continuation from HoloLive Japan, which serves as round 4 of the HoloLive Japan CEO Zako series. Welcome everyone to the Chromatic Future to Mandalika 200 minutes. This time we'll be racing the CEO lineup in the CEO race. So anyways, let's take a look in the track map of the racetrack. Obviously it's a fast-flowing circuit with 17 corners, about 10 of which are pretty much taken at high speed or medium speed, at least on gear 3. So here are the corners for sure. Here are 17 of them, and we were supposed to go for a race distance of 250 kilometers. But we are going to monitor the situation. If it continues to rain, then we will have to shorten the race distance to 45 laps, which should be about 167.5 kilometers of distance, at least based on 175 kilometers of race distance. So that will be that will be the new race distance if the rain does continue. We're not going to be seeing the lap records get broken today. At least it was broken yesterday because of the rainy conditions. So anyways, we are going to be taking a look into the CEO standings after Fuji Speedway, which was supposed to take place in Suzuka, but because of cars going off and all that stuff, we cannot continue to race at Suzuka, and which is why we race at Fuji instead. Ray Prowl with his interesting win at Fuji Speedway in the Mokoko number 52. After what he has experienced so far, it's going to give him some plaudits. He will be up on top. He's currently up on top the CEO standings and the world standings. Ira Nakamura and Joshua Zurich not far behind in 2nd and 3rd. Ed Sky, Maverick Duciev make up 4th and 5th in the standings. Sam Miyake finishing pretty interesting 6th actually. We do have to give some updates to the CEO standings. Oh yeah, that should be something that we need to update in. Alright. So anyways, we also have Yukihara Toka, who and alongside Colin Gibbons in 7th and 8th in the standings. Toka riding on the highs of Lami's birthday concert yesterday. Very tokusatsu team. She brought the whole just together, but let's not talk about that too much. Lexi Bowen and Lorenzo Ricci round out the top 10. Hofumi, Mohammad Shazin Reza, Hyuta Asano, Vlaza Damashev, and Alcern Tanara are your remaining point scorers from the Fuji race. There on up, we do want to point out that from drivers from 16 on back will have to take pre-qualifying. That means they'll have to take a separate qualifying session after this to make it into main qualifying, where we will only be taking the first 13 cars from the bottom, from anyone outside top 15. So basically, if you're from Muhammad Kashi or Monozetaro, that means you have yet to. That means you are going to have to be subject to pre-qualifying, and you got to have to qualify inside the top 13. Otherwise, you will be considered as a D and Q. for this Mandalika race, and for logging in result purposes, you'll be listed as a D and F. Alright, with that out of the way, apologies for the bloopers on the website and all that stuff, but that's happened from time to time. Right now the conditions are still pretty wet for rain, so there might be some interesting upsets that might happen in this stream. So anyways, welcome everyone to the stream. I'm Mama Shadaniruza in the commentary booth. And yeah, so it is a pretty wet day here in Mandalika. It was sunny and dry at the Zako race. But now we see the first guys out. And also just want to remind everyone that Daniel Barger is indeed included of those who are not inside top 15. So Barger will have to take pre-qualifying in the Swiss number 41. His current campaign in the Japan Tsuyo leaves much to be desired, with literally 0 points scored in the first 3 races in the World Tsuyo and Zako series. So Barger has everything to fight for. If he does win, he will see the car slipping and sliding in these wet conditions. Also, Mohammed Shakib Reza ready and waiting in the number 77 Muslims Identity machine. Already has some points. He's currently 13th Japan CEO, and in the World CEO he has failed to score a point. Let's take a look into his onboard lap to see how he tackles the Mandalika circuit. Condition. So here he is, about to start his lap again, trying to get his equipment the best next to his Moscow turn 17. There's a long main streak coming up for him. And then this is where you might have to go for a slightly early braking zone into turn 1 just to navigate your way to the circuit. I want to avoid the outside of the truck, staying inside as much as possible to avoid the puddles and the curbs in what should be surface. But anyways, the 2 and 3 are pretty much free, so just if you get first gear. And turn 4 is not flat out in its right condition, signals for turn 6. So you can see how much has to lift in these turn 7, 8, and 9. Very cautious so far. He's turn 10 is going down to first gear. Take it easy. See, he tries to pull in control if he can get the picture, but he has to be careful to not put too much around. Between 13 and 14, it's a very risky maneuver, but he does it. Lift off and then brake in a straight line in between 15 and 16. 17. Again, and into the final corner. Again, get a good exit as fast as possible into the final corner. That should be a lap here in Mandalika, and Shaq Reza will take 145.632. subpar conditions, and he is only good enough for 7. Puerto Rico Mendes is a kind of scary machine. Not setting a fast lap, and he is under serious risk of not qualifying. There's Angela Sims as well, down in 8. Horacio down in 7. Yuki, who has had Rogoshi perform in Banten last night, is currently down in 7, and I think she's already crossed the line, so she's not going to have faster time. And it looks to me that she will make contact with Aziz Wazif, who is currently 2nd. Evelyn Kurumi is looking to get herself into the main qualifying session. Shakib Reza and Iron as well inside the top 5 alongside Jake Goodwin. Todd Williams only good enough for 9th, and he's already crossed the line. Daniel Barger has had enough, but we'll see if he's set in fast enough time. Jay 13th. Shakib Reza kind of improves. Yazid only good enough for 16th. Rio in 15th. Monozetaro is very sluggish. I think some damage on the car is not going to set a competitive time. Kawabumi only good enough for 18th as a result. And as it stands, it will be Puerto Rico Mendes, Hoshino Rio, Danilo Goyena, Hazik Yazid, Tawan Bumin, and Monozetaro, who will not qualify. The conditions just get far too terrible for them to continue. Adachi gets himself into breathing space as he now gets into 4th. Ali J in 13th place in the final qualification spot for the main race. Puerto Rico Mendes has improved. That sends Ali J out. Cashew puts himself up ahead, and that will be it for qualifying. Ali J thought she was safe, but she's been knocked out. Wow, what a shocking set of circumstances for the Tsuyo series pre-qualifying session, as we will see the likes of those who have failed to qualify for the main race. Anyone from 14th on back will be listed as DNQ in this race, but they will be listed as DNF for official results logging purposes. So, Ali J for Kikirara VB will be the first driver out of the main race, alongside Hoshizuna Rio for Nakiri Ayame. And then joining the two will be Danilo Goyena for Sada Picora, the 2024 Formula HoloType Japan champion. Will be on the sidelines here in Mandalika. Same goes for Hazik Yazi for Shiri Novella. And remember, since this race also counts... Oh my goodness. Wrong. Okay. So anyways, for the drivers who are not going to qualify for this race, Ali J for Kikirara VV alongside Hoshizuna Rio for Nakiri Ayame. The 2024 Formula HoloType Japan champion, Daniel Goyena, will also be sitting out from this CO Series race, so there'll be your first 3 cars out of the main race. Hazik Yazid, who is battling with Evelyn Kuromi and Mohamed Shazin Reza in the international standings, is gonna fall further and further down the standings, with him not gonna be scoring points at Mandalika. And then joining Hazik Yazid will be Tawan Bumin for Fuawa Bisgard. So it will be a sole Mokoko in the main qualifying, unfortunately. And then joining and then being the last one who will not be qualifying, Monozetaro for Oro Crony, because he has had torque time in this pre-qualifying and he didn't make it count. Unfortunately, he will have to sit out the remainder of this day. Alright, with that out of the way, looks like the weather is doesn't seem to improve. I'm just going to set the names of those who have failed to qualify. And yeah, give us a few seconds while we try to remove the names of those who have failed to qualify. And right now we have officially loaded. And yes, the track is still looking pretty wet right now. So we are just going to shorten the race a bit to 20. Sorry. So there will be an announcement. So the Tsuyo race will now be shortened to 45 laps due to wet weather. So just want to remind you the DNQers, Kikirara Vivi and Ali J, Usarabe Kora and Danilo Goyena, Nakiri Ayame and Hoshisono Rio, Monozetaro and Oro Crony, Shiori Novella and Hazid Yazid, and Fuawa Abyssguard and Tawan Boomin. So that will be your DNQers for the Tsuyo series race, as we're now loading the main qualifying session. Remember that the drivers who have scored inside the top 15 have already had buys into the main qualifying session. So this includes Ray Brower, Joshua Zurin, Mama Reza, Yumihara Toka, Alton Tarao, Sam Yankee, Cal Gibbons, Lexi Bowen. So anyways, we got the first car out on track, and it just so happens to be Yukihara Toka. And guess what? Lamy is the only one that used the colorized idol outfit. The colorized outfit in this race is like conservation of Lamy and JP members. So yeah, Toka is now currently out on. Never mind, she has had an engine failure. Wait, no, I don't think she has had an engine failure. I was actually honestly not paying attention, so sorry about that. Just wanted to see what happened to Toka as she got teleported back to the pits. There's still a few more cars out. Oh yeah, she spun out as she was going through this one, and I believe she's gonna have to start at the back of the field. So that's what happened to Toka. So anyways, we do got some other cars on track. Mohamed Shazwin Reza representing Osaki Biju. Has had a rough time so far this season. In his last 3 races, he has only scored 14 points. So he's looking for something magical. And he has to really start to rock in if he wants to get into a position where he can get things done. So anyway, the race has been shortened to 45 laps. Set a faster first sector than Shazan Reza, so that is pretty damning right now. And you can see here how close Washington is to Shazan. Trying to dance in very rainy conditions here in the Indonesian Circle. 108.783. He's currently primed for success. For But we'll see how far he can go. There's also Yuta Asano, who is not going to have a faster time than him. Also, same goes for Azurid and Asano. Everyone's just slipping and sliding. Just trying to keep the car pointed in the right direction. So there's only such a 1-2-1-1 as he's also now passed by the Mashnev. Anyways, stuck on pit lane are not going to go any further because they've had excursions, so they won't have the time to get themselves a lap time. So that will be that. Asano into Chromie and Azurid. Oh damn! It is literally. Grim Reaper. Yeah, Grim Reaper. Actually happened. Asano now qualifying in 6th, Azurid in 5th. Next round was a line, Shaka Reza, Iron, and hopefully lots of the drivers are already struggling in these touring conditions. Hopefully we lost in the second. Proponent Tokinasora number 36 on pole position for now. As we see more drivers cross the line. Angela Sims 148.9898 for the Anya Melfissa driver. Wasn't qualifying in 4th. Nakamura goes up into 2nd place, representing the currently resting Hachama, who's had to endure so much already. Lexi Bowen goes up into 5th. Russell Carrascio will not set a competitive lap time. He will be down in 15th. And Sky is going to qualify in Cashew in 7th, and Sky 14th, and Tyrell 17th, Yuki 4th, Domashnev in 2nd. So he tries to get a good lap time, but he's only good enough for 13th right now, and that's not going to be very good. While Azurid is currently flying in his lap time, already improving in the first and second sectors. Now that Asano is out of the equation, but he goes into the pit, so it doesn't matter. Can't give it speed while it's about to give it a go. Racing in prototypes has been, especially as late as Joshua Zurich gets pole position by going into the pits. What is this, 1993? Gibbons says 13th as Azurid sets pole position in one of the weirdest fashions possible. I think it's the inside line to turn 15. Yep. Yep, Joshua Zuri gets pole position by going into the pits. Absolutely crazy. Alright, so we are now going to see how the situation goes for the field here of 28 cars who will be taking the green flag. For today's Tsuyo series race. Anyways, congratulations to Joshua Zurid for his unusual pole position time of 1:28.1, if I'm not mistaken, as he completes his lap by going to the pits. The deadbeat goes into pole position. Alongside him is Angela Sims from Anya Melfissa. Enrico Vlasa Damasha for Aki Rosenthal, and lining up alongside him in 4th is Airi Nakamura for Hachama, looking to get a bit of a bounce back for Hachama. 5th place, Hofumi and Tokino Sora looking to get something done from 5th place. 6th place, Hanari Miyuki for Kobokanaeru. Running up to the top 10, Takeda Dachi for Ninamai Nanis alongside Lexi Bowen and Shirogane Noel. 9th place will be Ayan Narisu and Isis Muazif. And then alongside them will be Hamakachu and Tsunamaki Watame. 11th place, Yuta Asano will start alongside Maverick Ducien for Omar Polka. 13th place, Callum Gibbons will start alongside the Aaron for Hakos Bales. 15th place, Mamachan Reza will have all the work he needs to do if he wants to grab this championship lead, at least in the international standings for Koseki Biju. 16th place, Ed Sky for Kazama Iroha. 17th place, Nakamata Kai and also Tara will be racing alongside Momosune and Momashaki Reza in 18th place. 19th place will be Lapas Darkness and Russian Kurashi with 20th place, Lorenzo Ricci and Hosha Marine. Yep, Senna 2.0 for real. 21st place will be Sami Ake for Shirakami Fubuki with 22nd place Okami Mio and Jay Goodwin. 23rd will be Daniel Barger and Hoshimachi Suisei with 24th place Koyurika Mendez and Takanashi Kiara. 25th will be Grave Prower, the defending race winner for Bokoko Abyssgar alongside ERB and Evelyn Cromie in 26th. 27th place will be Tyler Williams and Amani Kanata. And 28th place will be Yukihara Toka and Yukana Lamy. I believe these drivers, after the safety car portion, they have not recorded a lap time, so it will be between Lorenzo Ricci to, well, Sami Ake, Jay Goodwin, Daniel Barger, and then we also have Koyurika Mendez, Ray Prower, Evelyn Kuromi, Tyler Williams, and Yukihara Toka. These are the drivers who will not set a lap time, have not set a lap time in qualifying, and therefore will be starting at the back of the field. An interesting race unfolds soon here in Mandalika in torrential conditions. Not really torrential, but it's pretty wet. As we're about to take the green flag, Lorenzo Ricci sits on pole position. So rather, Joshua Zur sits on pole position with Angela Sims alongside for the start of the CO Series race here in Mandalika. The Chromatic Future 200 minutes CO Series race is now underway. And it's a great start from the outside line into turn 1. A train of cars forming, and you see here, that's a very good launch there from Hofu B. Drivers almost can't see through the spray, but they're gonna have to tackle it anyways. Will there be a spin into turn 1? And the answer is no. Already seeing some tussles currently up and running in this field. Lexi Bowen now side by side with Aziz Masic. This is a battle for 8th place as drivers not only battle the track but also the fish, because if you are not in the lead, then you aren't able to really see a lot. As Missouri now leads the Mashnev, hopefully in 3rd, and goes in with a horrid start from the inside line, goes into 4th, closing into 4th place. Adachi in 5th, Hanari Miyuki in 6th place, and Bowen now up into 7th. Cashew and Nakamura battle out for 8th place, and Aziz Masic running out of top 10. Here on lap 1 yesterday, Alex Brent spun out. And right now, I don't think there will be a repeat, as all the other drivers are now just going to have to navigate themselves. Tal Wins now goes up into 23rd. Koyurika Mendez goes on to 24th. Toka now up into the 25th. Romy 26th. Goodwin in 27th. And it looks to me that we have Hyuta Asano already out of this race. But anyways, we do have another overtake going on. It's Lexi Bowen over Muhammad Cashew down into the inside of turn 15. Lexi Bowen now going alongside for an opportunity against Hanari Miyuki, has been struggling in that corner. Lexi Bowen says thank you very much. She'll take 6th place. And right now Hanari Miyuki is at least not giving up on this battle. Miyuki now still on the hunt to keep that 6th place, and right now she's doing it she's handling it very well in these rainy conditions. We are now just starting lap 2, and I think there's contact. I think there's Romy, and then there's another contact. That's Tyler Williams in the main straight, Koyurika Mendez, and it's a big pile up. That is Yukihara Toka out. That's Tyler Williams also out. At the start of lap 2, there was a pinball of racing action. Takeda Adachi is also retired too. Tyler Williams, we also saw Maverick Duciem going out in the background, and that is going to be a massive crash there at the back, and holy smoke, that was wild. Jake Goodwin also out as well. He is now in the pits. With also drivers spitting out in torrential conditions. They just need to be careful. So it's not all about survival to finishes in this short race already. We already have seen 6 cars joining the 16 queuers, but that means already 12 cars out of this race. Oh, and that's Marshall Reza almost losing ground in this Cal Gibbons as well. As you see here, Wasif now goes into Shadar Reza's 10th place. Shadar Reza now tries to battle this torrential set of conditions. If you are going to go side by side into turn 16, you gotta have to be mindful into the start-finish line. A reminder that Tyler Williams is in the lead in formal HoloType, not in HoloType. That's a completely different set of battles. Anyways, the Nakamura currently in 6th place, absolutely on her charge herself. Fumi, meanwhile, in 4th place against Angela Sims. This is for the podium positions there. Sims doing a very good job to recover so far. Let's see how the pit stop will work. Best bet is that everyone will be going as long as they can. Some will be pinning earlier. And because we have a short race distance, they might use this to their advantage. See here how much the instructor is struggling in these rainy conditions. And right now we're seeing drivers slipping and sliding. And also, just wanted to give a bit of a fun fact. Shaki Reza is only one position away from beating his brother in a race battle. And right now it's going to be an interesting scene here to see how these two will race each other. We haven't seen Michael Schumacher and Ralph Schumacher make contact with each other. Cashew now gets overtaken by Ozzy, who is charging already straight up now before Cashew tries to fight back. And already we see Ozzy now going to go side by side with Hanari Miyuki. Oh, losing ground. Ozzy nearly making contact with Cashew. Battles here. Meanwhile, we got that Sky and also Tanarao fighting for 13th place. They need to be careful with their racing line and to make sure they don't spin themselves out of the race. And we see Ed Sky already understeer. This is going to end very well. And right now we might be seeing some drivers going side by side as Hanari Miyuki trying to keep the car pointed in a straight line, and she does so. Ed Sky now has the fastest lap of the race. As they still go side by side. That's Vlasa Demashnev out of race from 2nd place. He spun out and he will join the side. He will join the sidelines, unfortunately, after 3 laps of racing. Still got 4 drivers currently in a comfortable position, and none are in a more comfortable position than one Joshua Azurid, who is currently just chilling at the front here as we see more drivers try to keep themselves pointed in the right direction, and that's almost that Sky losing ground by going into the oh, and that is another one having an issue there. That's Shazad Reza, I believe. A bit of an issue, and right now Shakib Reza is now the next driver to go out of this race. Reza has gone off somewhere, so they won't be having that sibling battle, unfortunately. Right now we are just going to have to Reza has just had an engine failure, so that will be a massive shame for the younger of the Reza siblings. Picking up the pace here as he finally gets into the groove of these wet conditions. He's now rocking it for real. Will he be trying to make a move down the inside against Miyuki? Oh, making slight contact to 2. Miyuki also having some damage. That will not over in. He wants to stay inside 8th place. Mistake. These sets of puddles. side by side against Sky. He now gets himself back. Will also be field for long, so that he now is understeering into the turn, and manages to get himself into pain place right now. And now getting passed by Alcantara. Going side by side with Lexi Bowen. That's contact between Lexi Bowen and Angela Sims. I felt like Fumi didn't make contact with anyone, it seems. But we won't do have side by side action between Lexi Bowen and Cashew. Cashew still going around the outside, and that is a great move there from Cashew to try to get himself into 5th place. Lexi Bowen has to back off. Russia and Brower now trade places with Brower down in a side-by-side battle with Russia. Avoids contact for now. He will pause him against Lexi Bowen in their own respective battles as Wazip tries to chase Lexi. Joshua Zert right now in, I believe, in the exit turn 1. That is at Sky with an engine failure from out of nowhere. Another one bites the dust, and unfortunately, Ed Sky has to bite it. That is him now out of this race. Unfortunately for him, meanwhile, Horacio and Puerto Rican Mendez are also in their own set of battles themselves. Are now at 7 laps complete as Monster goes down the inside onto Lexi Bowen. Once again, the racing just continues to deliver even in these sets of circumstances as Lexi Bowen tries to fight back, run back by sticking into the inside line after going around the outside at the final corner. And oh, there's a bit of a contact there between Lexi Bowen and Cashew. And that was an amazing run off of the main street, but has to let the dump step up the go for Wild Cashew to make it move down the inside potentially. While Rick Mendez and Joshua in their own battles, nearly ending in tears between these two. Nelson Crush is also going to be blasting this other as Alcantara goes off the track. Alcantara goes off the track in the same way that Vlasa Demashnev has had. And this time, it will be Alcantara who will also join in on the sidelines. Oh, and that's almost a nightmare for Lexi Bowen as she lost control. Gets hit on the side and nearly having a car make it spin out. And now Azizwazev is going to be sniffing for an opportunity. And oh, and that is Azizwazev losing the rear. absolutely frantic racing here in wet conditions here in Mandalika. It turns out that Irene might just be able to score a point if she can focus hard enough. Yeah, she was involved in that melee between DuCM and Polka and all that in the main straight beginning lap 2. Cassia being overtaken already by Angela Sims. Sims probably going to struggle at the exit of this final corner, but not so. Cassia was about to give it his all at the exit, nearly spinning himself out as a result as well. Coming into the final round at Sydney Motorsports Park in the international standings. We've got Sims and Cashew still going side by side, and now it's going to be Sims who has to give way to the Tsunomaki Watami driver. Has now also retired from this race. This means that he has went off the track, it seems, or is that just an issue with the engines? Actually, no. Nope, yep, he has crashed out of the race. He's crashed out of the race. I feel like we should just want to replay at this point, because if you want to know what happened with him and Hanari Miyuki, oh no, that's just Callan Gibbons sending him out. So I feel like if we were to review these incidents one by one, that will take us forever. So we're just gonna have to continue as usual, and we'll see if there's gonna be any post-race penalties to be added. There's gonna be massive heading, especially if the results don't load. It's wet conditions. Anyways, we still have much of this race to go, as they're now in control so far. Okay, over 16 seconds, Great Power is now almost guaranteed. Is now guaranteed to be Rory is expected to now extend her lead in the championship standings. So currently in this race lane will essentially mean that in the international standings, he will now have a serious shot of taking this championship lead. Finish. let's take a look into what happened first to especially Hyuta Asano. So if you do want to know what happened to Asano, here is what happened to him so far. So yeah, he was tagged by Mamashad and Reza. Tagging Hyuta Asano. Spinning, and that is essentially him out of this race. And that's not the only incident to talk about, because here's also the incident that comes from these Toka and Williams. They were going side by side, and they made contact between each other. And they both spun each other out. And then Toka gets run by Enrique Mendes. And then here's what happened to DCM. For Toka and Williams, it will be a racing incident. So, and also both of them have retired. Felt like he lost the rear though, but then again you look at Iron, already DCM losing control, and then gets collected by another car that is Sami Ake, who was also collected. Here is the map in DCM. I had that slight nudge over Maruzen and lost control, and then hit Iron again on the rebound, and that sent both of them into a spin. So it will be likely that for DCM's circumstance, it will be him out. And here's what happened to Dabashnev. That's over me losing control of the brakes and then slamming Dabashnev. So that is Dabashnev out. And then there's also Shakif Reza, who I believe had just an engine failure. And then we got Etsky, who also had an engine failure. Al Centauro, on the other hand, just going fine as usual. And that's Callum Gibbons spinning Antero. So it will be an interesting penalty situation to attest. Once we try to get into the rest of the field. There's also Lorenzo Ricci out. And here's what happened to Ricci. Ricci just had an engine failure, so we will not count that. And so that leaves us with Reza as well, who is already out of this race. So Shadrin is under investigation for deliberate contact with Hyuta Asano, since it looks to me like he will also be having 30 extra seconds added to his time, but it will be inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. So, but Gibbons will be having two 30-second penalties likely for his two collisions to both Antero and Reza. Already after 10 dramatic laps so far. This means that much of the drivers have already had their decent amounts of race already. For seconds. position. And right now Kuromi is currently set to score 4 points, which is actually going to do himself some wonders actually, because this will at least extend her lead only slightly. But there's also Joshua Tsuyo, who's also in a safe position to take this championship lead away. Now down the inside onto Chromatic there, now into turn 1. And now let's go trying to get that stick. It's basically game tag. And right now Chromatic has claimed the tag forward. He's actually flying so far in 6th place. He's also doing pretty okay. He's currently in 9th place in the ID Classical Volcano car. Pressure from Daniel Barker apparently is not here. No. Barker is currently in the top. So Barker is looking for more wins in this World Tsuyo, looking for more wins in this HoloType season so far. Now she's now gone up to 3rd place against Nakamura. Iron is not far right now. Trying to overtake 2 cars at once. What a move that was from Angela Sims. And this is a power move from the two, as these two are rivals essentially. Angela Sims has lapped Iron. can only really punish Fumi and Gibbons right now, so we will do just that. So there will be at least two penalties, two slam dunk penalties to be given. Penalties will be confirmed 60 seconds to Caleb Gibbons for his DNF-inducing collision to Alcantara and Lamashad Reza. And then other than that, there's also hopefully will be getting a 30-second penalty for his DNF-inducing collision to Vladislav Lamashad. Deliberating because we can add a 30-second penalty. No one has but the position where the run right now will change already retired. I'm saying that I wanted it to be across the board, so that's that. Unfortunately, as Angela Sims now comes into the pits for her scheduled pit stop. Alright, she's now peeled into the pits. We will see that she will most likely go for a full tank of fuel. Of Sims right now, who is currently running in 11th. Modena Warrior in 6th on the charge against Lexi Bowen now. We've got this consistent top runner so far, and Tsuyo on 6th. She is actually good until the end of this race, so everyone can just do one stop and just go about in this race. Brave Beauty and Brave Flower also coming in for their scheduled pit stops. So they will be out soon. So there will be some shuffling in the grid order right now. Vicky will now get out in 14th place. So both Reza siblings are not having a good time in the Mandalika right now. And the only sibling who is having a good time right now is, of course, Hanabi Kiriko, who has actually finished in 2nd place. So yeah, Hanabi is currently in 2nd place. Just finished behind Misaki Sakura, who is absolutely running things around. And speaking of which, yeah, Azuri currently in the lead in the very soaked Mandalika Tsuyo Series race, and he's currently managing the rain very well, and I think this will be the impetus that he needs to really compete in HoloType, now that he might have a serious shot of actually going into the championship lead for both the World CEO and the international standings heading into Sydney, the final round of the season. And here comes Massive over Alexi Bowen. Again in turns 2 and 3, and Alexi Bowen manages to defend so far. So almost can Bowen last. Race time for sending 2 cars out of the race. Same goes for both of me. So it will be likely that Cashew will be taking 2nd place and Nakamura 3rd. We might actually be relegated to 4th right now. As it stands, the rain is not going to be anytime soon, so we're just going to have to deal with these torrential conditions until the end of this race. And when I've got cars finally going into a rhythm in these wet conditions, and Melky by side, Gibbons going around the outside of Gibbons. What is going to be perhaps a titanic battle, but Gibbons should have the upper hand down inside of the 10. So Gibbons is now ahead of Bowen right now. You can just see here how much the cars will struggle if they go off into those curves, because these are very slippery. Alright, so we now are at 19 laps complete. He's still in control so far, but he will be meeting the lap car of Hana. So right now he will just need to be very careful with his progress so far and to just make the move done in a very very methodical approach. And as you can see here, Yuki is struggling with grip already. She has already pitted. Azuri has yet to pit, and he currently has about 24 liters of fuel to go, and that is pretty ugly though. Almost sending Yuki to spin into retirement. And it is pretty risky there for Azur to go into the yeah, he won't need to do it like that. And then we've got Daniel Parker also currently in the pits for what should be his scheduled stop. He was battling with Wazif, and now he is going to be set to lose and exit in potentially 11th place. I think he's already moving out. Has also gone into the pit and is exiting in 10th place. It's very iffy with the racing line, but I'm going to stay ahead right now. Alright, so this is going to be a bit tricky because right now I think Fumi is going to, we have yet to see every driver currently running. And that's Hana Rebuki out! Hana Rebuki's out of race! And just one on Earth has happened, and I think he's just Hana Rebuki getting tagged. Or it could just be here spinning out her by her own. Yeah, this Hana Rebuki spinning out on her own. She's doing some civic duty there for Joshua Zurin, and that will mean that Yuki will be the last driver who will not score points. And this means one thing: Iron is about to score points. Wazim is now going to go into the pits. Stage. So Barger is Wazif's nearest rival, and right now Wazif is currently parked still at the side of the track. Barger is about to get into the final corner. We're actually side by side though. I think it was Wazif ahead of Barger, and Wazif has now gone ahead and will clear Daniel Barger by at least 3 seconds. Russian next to go into the pits. Miyuki have retired. Miyuki has retired from the race. lap and retired to at least guarantee a single point. And it looks to me that, oh my, I think that is another car. Oh, and that's Joshua Zurich. Joshua Zurich has spun. Joshua Zurich has spun, but crucially, compared to Miyuki, he should be able to continue. And holy moly, that was pretty clutch there from Zurich. He has had a spin that was similar to Hunter and Miyuki, but this time, this time he manages to catch it. Wow. And there's also the likes of Irene, who is currently struggling with the car right now, and she might be the next driver to move. She is already a lap down, and she might actually going to be sent to 2 laps. Oh, hang on. All right. So Azurid and Irene are now added between each other. Now to go side by side. Azurid should have no problems. And that is a solid maneuver so far from Azurid to clear. Fumi now goes into the pit, and unfortunately we cannot have him stop there for 60 seconds due to limitations in the set of courses, so we're gonna have to make do with what we can do right now. So more drivers already coming in for their pit stop. Now the pocket shot is gonna be a bit wonky, but as it stands right now, Corey Jimenez will be the biggest gainer so far. He started, I believe, in 25th. He is now currently in 8th in a wet race. Alright, so what is next on the list? Apologies for the slight lag. As now we get to see some battles here. Horatio is now a lap down. Rick Brower, meanwhile, is looking in front to Horatio is currently up to, and he is cleared. Cashier to put himself back on the lead lap. And Gibbons and Nakamura also joined in their pit stops. So Nakamura has just exited in 7th. Cal Gibbons has not exited in 10th. Right now we still have 3 drivers in the top 3 who have yet to make a pit stop. Corey Mendez and Evelyn Cromie have also yet to make a pit stop. So it will still be very tricky to find out. Laps to go for about 1 to 2 minutes, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Alright, thank you for notifying me, Chrono, about the mic. Anyways, welcome back to Mandalika, as I am now going to adjust the volume on the audio input. Hopefully this is better. Please let me know if this is... oh my god, I think I screamed it too much. Anyways, I hope that the mic is now better in terms of the sound. So anyways, Azur's now gained over 20 seconds over Muhammad Cashew, who's currently running in second. Lexi Bowen will be your driver that will be completing the podium at this rate. Oh, and Lexi Bowen! Lexi Bowen has spun out! Another retirement in this race will now go to Lexi Bowen, and we will see what happened to her. We already had so many cars out of this race so far, and here's what happened to Lexi Bowen. Tried to go side by side with Fumi, but got spun out into the curb and had a very wild spin. I would think that she's probably had enough after that, so that will be Lexi Bowen out from the count. And I think she will be the first of the drivers who... Oh, I might be seeing another incident happening between Barger and Wasif. So Barger, as it stands, will be scoring the single point at the very least for her with an amazing pirouette, I'll be honest with you. And Cashew will now go into the pits. looks like Cassia will make a pit stop. That leaves only Kuromi and Koirika Mendez and Daniel Barger. I mean, Joshua Azurid. And I'll be honest with you right now, the gap between Azurid and Fumi is currently at around 41 seconds. So even if he does manage to make a pit stop, he should stay ahead of Fumi. So there should be some level of confidence and optimism in that. Sims will now go into third place. It looks like the net second after Fumi's penalty. Kashi will look to be in second, and I don't know. I don't think Azura has the fastest lap, so it won't be a Grand Slam just yet for the essentially Mori Calliope driver. But for now. And Azura finally comes in for his pit stop, while hopefully will be at most taking the lead on track. It will be very likely that he will lose out by having 30 seconds added to his race time, because he will be serving a 30-second time penalty for sending another car out of race, specifically hopefully his collision to Voss and Mashnev. And Azura finally gets out, he will take the race lead. And yes, Azura will be guaranteed the most laps led. And right now it is now 7 seconds between the two, so Azura should just be pretty safe and sound right now. Meanwhile, Iron is gonna be set to take 14th place. Then again, there's also Callum Gibbons right now. Who might be demoted to 12th place after penalties. All right, we will see how it looks from here. So yeah, Azura is absolutely enjoying this moment here. He's already had times where he basically climbed from the ground up to get himself close to championship contention. And as it stands right now, with Azura winning here in Mandalika, he should be able to take the championship lead away from Evelyn Kuromi. And I'll tell you what, right now, it is going to be very emphatic. And Kuromi has now gone onto the pits. So even if we ignore the fact that we got a normal retirement so far and all that and stuff, it still would mean that Shadra will not take a championship lead. Hazias will not take a championship lead. Neither will Gray Prower, even though he's currently 13th right now. Because Azurid will have a interesting difference though. He will have a 38-point gap over Javier Lusby, who actually had a very solid race at Mandalika yesterday. And of course, going full Senna 1991, and I felt like it's actually 1993 though, because the performance in Senna, especially in 93 Donington, where Senna absolutely blitzed the field from 6th to 1st, if I'm not mistaken, in the opening lap, and then using the pit lane to get fastest lap, just like how Azura did to get his pole position. in wet conditions, it felt like this would be the best method yet. But anyways, Azuri is still going to absolutely try his way. Everything's fine. The race leads him to Cashew. We want to go side by side between each other. Cashew is still going to go side by side with Sims. Barger, meanwhile, is in 5th place, looking for his first point in the World Tsuyo Series and the Japan Tsuyo Series as well. Alright, 2/3 of this race is now complete, and the question now is that Fubi have now actually been faster than Joshua Azuri, but then again, even if Azuri gets passed by Fubi will still need to serve his 30-second penalty for his contact with Laza Demashnev. He basically lost his before the car on the brake and hit the back of Demashnev set with the tire. Yeah, exactly. So, right now, we are still monitoring the situation right now with hopefully the Azuri. Nakamura, meanwhile, is still going on her business right now. While Shadreza will take the 30-second penalty, as he is now going to be finished with no points again here in Mandalika. The second of the season has been nothing but pain for Shadreza so far, and for Pebbles after such a promising first half of the season in qualifiers. And Samiake, meanwhile, wrestling Kurashio for 10th place. Ake, who actually had a decent finish though last time out at Fuji with a 6th place, looking to bounce back with a top 10 finish, at least to get some bragging rights. Irene is currently set to finish 14th if she stays where she is right now. She is a lap down to even Greg Brower in 13th. Cassie will get some valuable points. Same goes for Angela Sims. Both of them have had to go to pre-qualifying to get to this point. And it looks to me that hopefully will be credited with a 4th place. Daniel Barger with a 5th. Right now, still under pressure from Ira Nakamura, who is currently running in 7th. Callum Gibbons will be serving a 60-second time penalty. Looks to me that he will be sent down to potentially 13th place. Assuming there are no more retirements by that stage. We are now coming to 13 laps to go here. wet conditions in Mandalika have been pretty kind to these HoloType cars, unlike the same types of conditions at Suzuka a month or two ago. So that is at least a positive to report. But then again, remember, Hofumi has a 30-second penalty to serve for him sending Sadamasha out of the race. So essentially, there will be no contest. Azure currently is in charge of the situation, so that's that. Meanwhile, Hofumi is getting very close though to Joshua Zurich because you wanna know why? Brave Proud. One of the last cars on the lead lap. Meanwhile, as we see here, Barger and Wazip now go side by side, toe between each other. They can kind of see where they need to go. But Barger is now gone up into the top 5. Meanwhile, Hofumi is currently trying to find a way back to Zurich. This is mostly for bragging rights, but this is unless Joshua Zurich loses tons of time to Fumi to the point where he loses 30 seconds to Hofumi. Then it's actually game on. As we now see Hofumi now go side by side though with Zurich. He's trying to go around the outside to turn 11, comes the inside line to turn 12, now goes down the inside onto Great Prower. Oh, and nearly spinning out, and it's Hofumi losing control. But manages to just keep it on the track. Both of these cars going offline and nearly paying the price. He's gonna try to again against Prower, but will it be in vain? He's gonna go for it. He needs to be careful because this is at least 4th on the line. He's gonna have to stick it behind as Azure now pulls away from the rest of the pack. Just going to just see hopefully just lose out to Azurid, and that's not all though, because he's also going to be losing out to Cashew and Sims, as we mentioned. And that is actually Fumi trying to be desperate there on the move against Prower, now going down the inside into turn 60 and then out into turn 17. Great Prower still sticks around the inside of the ideal line at turn 17. That's going to force Azuri to lose more time. Continues to tries to try at this point, he will at least be guaranteed 13th place, knowing that Iron is the full lap down on Broward. Still as treacherous as it is. Situation still not letting up. Now Gibbons trying to go around the outside, forces a move potentially, but loses the rear end grip. Doesn't get the move done so far. Yeah. Anyway, so let's take a look into the progress chart now that everyone has already made a pit stop. Only Joshua Surrey have stayed where he is right now. Same goes for Aaron if you're not going a lap down. Only Angela Sims and Iron Nakamura lost out from their initial starting positions. Sim started on the front row. Nakamura started in 4th place. Everyone else from the back have lost their positions from the start. So as it stands right now, Fuji will be relegated down to 5th place. Not 4th as you might expect. As Daniel Barger is actually looking to get very close now, and also Gibbons, but Gibbons is also going to be losing time as well. And here is Wanda going down the inside of Iron. So the gaps right now, Fumi will have Fumi actually 46 seconds behind. So it will be very likely that Fumi will be actually 6th place. Oh, and that's Iron. Iron's gone off with Callum Gibbons. Iron's gone off with Callum Gibbons, and look at both of them together. Wow. And here's what happened to both of them at the start. And it's Gibbons actually sending Iron off, and Iron actually pays in this one, so it will be an additional 30 seconds of penalties for Callum Gibbons, but fortunately for them, it will be Iron who will essentially put an end to Gibbons' interesting run. So yeah, Aaron will be set to finish in 13th place, 14th place. Gibbons will be finishing in 13th. Crowder now will be moving up to Crowder will now potentially move up into 12th. 11th place will be Sami Ake. Or rather, Romy will be in 12th. Sorry, 11th, and then Sami Ake will actually finally break through into the top 10. Kuroshio had a very quiet race so far, but he is absolutely making use of this highly attritional race. 8th place will most likely go to Nakamura. So your current points positions right now will be Azuri, Cashew, and Sims in the top 3. Wazif in 4th, Barger 5th, Fumi in 6th, Nakamura 7th, Mendez 8th. Wait. Rico Mendez is in Nakamura, Mendez, Kuroshio or rather Fumi, Nakamura, Mendez, and Kuroshio in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Sami Ake will round out the top 10. Romy and Prower make it 11th and 12th. Gibbons in 13th, Ira in 14th, and Lexi Bowen in the final points positions. More chaos. For now, Azuri should be home free with the next lap car being Sami Ake. And Sami Ake is currently at, I believe, in turn 16. Joshua Azuri, meanwhile, is currently at turn 15. But there is not much long left in this race, so yeah. Should be time, at least for him, to make a move. Alright, Fumi is currently in 2nd place. It can be very likely to drop down into 6th place after penalties. Currently in 10th place over Kuroshio. Right now. Oh, and that is a Sami Ake breaking into the curbs. Losing ground to Kuroshio by absolutely losing grip at turn 11, but manages to capture the car back in control. So that's Ake still in 10th place. 6 laps to go here in Mandalika, and Josh Azuri has absolutely controlled proceedings. He will be set to lead all the laps here. Alright, we are now in the final 5 laps of this race, and I would like to hear your opinions as we now come into the checkered flag. I only have one opinion though for Joshua Azuri. He has had an amazing job just keeping control of his car. He has had his times when he went off the track, but he didn't hesitate to just get himself back on into the situation here. Get himself back into control and yep, open your heart from Sonic. Yeah. Well, there will be answers from other people as we are now at 12 people left. It has been in a traditional race from start to this point right now, and likely until the finish, and if we will see any more retirements coming up. And now we are just going to finalize this set of circumstances here. By that I mean I will just stand by modifying the World CEO standings graphics. As it stands, I just want to do a bit of a double check on the standings in case of anything. So there will be Azure, Cashew, Sims, or rather Cashew, Wazib, and Sims, because Wazib has already made the pass on to Angela Sims. So it's Azure, Cashew, and Wazib, and oh, Hofumi's gone off! Hofumi's gone off at the turn 1! And we'll see who punted him out of the race, and I think it is between himself and Evelyn Kuromi, and they were both side by side actually. Oh no, it's just Hofumi just losing control, and that's just him out. He just had his braking in the wet patch of the track, and that just sent him out. Made things easier at least since Hopefully will be set to finish 13th. I told there will be attrition right at the end. But anyway, we still have Azuric, Cashew, and Wazib on the podium. Sims and Barger make up the top 5. Nakamura, Mendez, and now we have some change in position there between Sami Ake and Russell Kurashio. Nakamura 6th, Mendez in 7th, Ake in 8th, Russell Kurashio in 9th, Evelyn Kuromi will go up into 10th, Ray Prower will go up into 11th, with Fubi going down into 11th, or is that 12th? So Joshua Zurich still has this race under control. He just needs to survive 3 more laps. 3 more laps to put himself in the annals of HoloType greats, and to take the championship lead in both the JP and international standings. Sorry, in the world and international standings, sorry. So as it stands, he will be ahead of Irie Nakamura in the World Series by 85 points. You heard me right, 85 points over Irie Nakamura in 2nd place. It's very attritional so far, and right now it's gonna be a joyous occasion for the Deadbeats as they will be set to win their first HoloType race this year. We are just gonna give a bit of a post-mortem for this race so far. There might be some changes coming around, but right now the gaps between these drivers are now at around at least 4 seconds, so there might not be any more changes from this point on. So yeah, so let's just we're just gonna check this one. So it's gonna be Azure, Cashew, and Wazib in the podium. Sims and Barger on 4th and 5th. Nakamura, Mendez, Ake, Kurashio, and Kuromi make up the remaining drivers in the top 10. Brawl is the last finisher in 11th. Fumi, Count Gibbons, Iron, and Lexi Bolt make up the last of the points finishers as they also both finish this race. seeing Zurich start the penultimate lap of this race. We will see him put himself into the annals of greats in HoloType, as we mentioned before. So there will not be any more changes in the points as it stands, so we are just going to update the points right now while we can. But I'll just tell you this right now. It's been a great time though for Azurid. Sure, he's had some tumultuous moments in the International Series and in qualifiers, but in the second half of the season, it feels like he's been a man who gets his things back into control. And with the next two races, including this one, being World Series events, in which he has been very good so far. And he's absolutely delivering good on the promise, and he is gonna start the final lap of the Chromatic Future Mandalika 200 minutes CO Series race in the lead. And now he will start the final lap of this race with one hand on the trophy and another hand potentially in the championship lead of both HoloType World CEO and in the International Series. You might want to think that this is overkill. You might want to think that this is overkill for Azure, but to him, he just needed what he needed to do. And right now, he is absolutely in complete control of this race. And now Josh Azure just only has a few corners left. I mean, he's right though when he said that he would see himself as the Rheinmeister, if you kind of like to call it in German. As Azure has been in complete control of this race. He's led the most laps. He will take the win. He started on pole. He didn't have the fastest lap, if I'm not mistaken. But that didn't matter because he will take the 200 points here in Mandalika. He's just gonna go, you know what, let's just crash. Get it. As he's now going to crash his way into the top step of the podium. With only a few corners left, Azure just needs to keep it in control. Keep it in a straight line. He will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just one more corner for the deadbeats. Joshua Zuri and Mori Calliope survives a very wet Mandalika race to win the Chromatic Future 200 minutes CO Series race. Samyagi will finish in 8th, a lap down. As there will be almost just about no overtakes there unless Nakamura might think about something against Barger right at the death. We will have to monitor the situation between Nakamura and Barger, but I think there might be no differences. Kasha will finish second to keep to put himself on the map in the World Studio standings, and then Wazif will get himself on the podium as an ID class car on the podium. Great stuff there from the Malaysian driver representing an Indonesian member. There he goes. Sims, also give credit to her. She finishes in 4th. Barger 5th. Nakamura 5th. Nakamura 6th. And Corey Mendes will round up the field as we will now finally conclude this race. Man, what a race this has been. As I am just going to modify the Photoshop a bit, as you know, we're just going to save a few things. All right. Anyways, we are just going to take a look into the race results right now. So we are just gonna be showing you the Photoshop, the sheets, the spreadsheets of the standings here. So yeah, let's congratulate Joshua Zurich for his win here in Mandalika, as he will now top the international standings and the world Tsuyo, coming into the final race of the season in Sydney Motorsports Park. Muhammad Kashi will be in second place for Sunomaki Watame. Aziz Mwazif and Ayuda Risu in third. They will make up your podium finishers. Angela Sims for Ayam Bafisa finishes in fourth place, with Daniel Barger fifth for Shoshimaki Suisei. They make up the top five, and congratulations to Daniel Barger for finally finishing in the second half of the season. Ari Nakamura sixth for Hachama, with Corey Jimenez in seventh, Sami Ake eighth. Ninth place goes to Rustim Karashio, with Evelyn Kuromi rounding out the top 10. 11th place goes to Grave Prower for Mokoko, with Fomi obviously gonna be adding 30 seconds to his time after his collision. Looks to me that Iron will be finishing in 13th, actually. Iron will be finishing in 13th over Callum Gibbons in 14th after penalties. So Iron will be sent to 13th, Callum Gibbons will be sent to 14th, Lexi Bowen in 15th place. Hanori Miyuki will be finishing in 16th, and I think Lorenzo Ricci will be finishing 17th over Muhammad Shadin Reza in 18th place. Alton Tara are 19th, and Ed Sky rounding out the top 20. Shakir Reza for Moses Denene in 21st place, with Vasa Damashev for Aki Rosa in 22nd. And then after that, we got Tyler Williams in 23rd, Duciem in 24th, Goodwin 25th, Adachi 26th, Toka in 27th, and Hyota Sano rounding up the finishers in 28th. Alright, so we are just going to check the championship standings here. We will update you the JP, Tsuyo, and Zako in international standings after the stream, as I will log in the results. But here are your provisional results after Mandalika for the Tsuyo series. And as you can see here, Joshua Zurich now has the lead over Ari Nakamura by 85 points, and tons more over Great Prower. So anyone who is below 150 points are considered to be out of championship contention. So this will mean that Great Prower, Muhammad Kashi, and Aziz Mwasif will still be in the hunt for the championship. And everyone else, they are now out of it. Sami Ake will secure 6th, Sims in 7th, Etsky 8th, Daniel Barger 9th, and Maverick Duciem rounding out the top 10. 11th place, Calvin Gibbons will stay where he is right now, with Corey Jimenez in 12th. Toga will score no points in 13th. Lexi Bowen, Rossi Coraggio, Hofumi, Evelyn Kuromi, they will score points as well, as they make up 14th to 17th place. And then we got Lorenzo Ricci in 18th, Moses and Rizza in 19th, and Iron scores inside the top 20. Scores and now gets into the top 20 in the standings. Yudosano drops down to 21st, as does Vlasa Damashev and Alston Taro, 21st to 23rd. And from Daniel Goyena to Monozetaro, right here, these are the drivers who have yet to score points. Some have been way closer than they have been, but unfortunately, it hasn't been forthcoming to these drivers yet. Let's see if they're able to have one last chance to score points in Sydney Motorsports Park for the finale of the 2025 HoloType season. And with that out of the way, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to today's stream. And again, apologies if we have to delay it. And then apologies if we have to delay the stream earlier this morning. I needed to focus on my sleep. And at that time in that morning, I hadn't had enough sleep due to personal reasons. So you can please give me some slack for that. So yeah, that should be it for today's race. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in for today's stream. I'll see you tomorrow for the Formula Hall Life season finale. And with that out of the way, we'll hope to see you for next week's stream, the finale Grand Prix at Suzuka. Hopefully it doesn't rain this time. And again, I'm Mama Shizarza in the commentary booth. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next weekend. Thankfully, everything went to plan. That's what Joshua Zuri has said. So yeah. Anyways, take care everyone, and we'll see you next week for the Formula Hall finale for the 2025 Japan season.